So leadership is about serving. Leadership is not shifting focus from one to the other. Means, serving the leadership focus is not about shifting from leading to serving. Serving is leading is serving. All right. So the first is, there's lots of people say that when I serve, when I embody servant leadership, am I leading? Yes, you are. There's some message, right? Keep echoing in my head, staying in my heart over and over again a long time, which is focus on impact rather than chasing status. Because status is fleeting. When you're on the position, yes, you feel that you are respected, you have the respect, and you are treated well by everybody around you. But then once you are leaving the position, you're no more holding the title, and you're basically nobody. Right? But the impact is enduring. So true leadership isn't about titles or accolades. It's about the lives you touch, the impact you create, the lives you touch, and it's about the growth you inspire and all the positive remark you leave on the world. So shift your focus from chasing recognitions to creating meaningful changes and impact, and build a legacy that lasts.
Welcome to Inspire Someone Today podcast, a show where we dive into the stories and insights that has the power to create ripples of inspiration in your life. I'm your host Shrikant, and I'm thrilled to be with you on this journey of inspiration. Hey my dear listeners, welcome back to part 2 of this episode, the Trifecta of Leadership. If part 1 focused on authentic leadership, courageous leadership, and servant leadership, this part is equally entertaining, wherein Catherine further dwells upon the importance of mind power, certain mindset perspectives that she has recognized with leadership, and why to focus on impact is more important than chasing on position. Listening to this episode with Catherine, and by the way, if you have not checked out the Inspire Someone Today book, please have a look at Amazon and give it a go. I see this as the 3 legs of a 3-legged stool. 1, we spoke about authentic leadership. 2 was courageous leadership. Now, the third element of that is servant leadership, right? Servant in the service of others. It's so beautiful, so very well coined. So, servant leadership, as the name suggests, shifts from leading to serving. How can leaders ensure they're empowering their teams without losing sight of the organization goals?
Again, Sri, I love those questions. Let me first clarify the questions from my perspective. So leadership is about serving. Leadership is not shifting focus from one to the other. Means, serving the leadership focus is not about shifting from leading to serving. Serving is leading is serving. All right. So the first is, there's lots of people say that when I serve, when I embody servant leadership, am I leading? Yes, you are. Because leadership is about serving. Let me elaborate. So servant leadership isn't a type of leadership. Servant leadership is just leadership. Leadership is about serving others, and that's the core of it. That's it. It's not a position, not a power to be wielded. It's a responsibility to help others succeed, to lead with a higher purpose, and to work towards meaningful goals that benefit the greater good. Which means serving doesn't mean lowering your head in front of others or that you lack boldness or courage. No. When you lead courageously, you are serving. When you make tough decisions, you are serving. Even when you must demonstrate authenticity in specific situations, you are serving. All right? Or maybe in some situations, you need to insert authority, even though you are still serving. You do all of those things because you want to serve better. And that means you need to lead better. So serving is just the leadership. Serving leadership isn't a new or separate type of leadership. And then back to the second part of the question, right? So how to ensure leaders, to ensure leaders are empowering the teams without losing sight of organizational goals, they must focus on a few key things, right? The first one, align your vision and purpose. And see, I'll keep mentioning the purpose, emphasizing purpose, and so on. Why? Leadership is about ensuring every team member understands the vision and purpose and how their individual contributions connect to the broad organizational goals. So empowerment happens better when people know how their actions align with the mission, fueling their sense of ownership and commitment to success. All right. And the second is you must build the trust because the leaders, you must create an environment where people feel trusted to the initiative, to voice their opinions, and to make decisions that move the organization forward. So the trust is essential for empowerment, but also ensures that decisions are made in alignment with the larger goals. Without trust, you can't serve well. As a lack of trust in the workplace, could undermine servant leadership by creating barriers to collaborations, to reducing open communications and eroding employee morale, making it difficult for leaders to inspire, empower, and serve effectively. The trust is also essential, right? And next one, serving with courage and humility. True leaders require humility as well as courage. Serving doesn't mean avoiding hard decisions or being passive. In fact, when you lead with courage, when you make tough calls or take responsibility for outcomes, you are serving the organizations and your team better. It's about doing what's right for others and the organization, even when it's challenging to do. So yes, so when you serve, when you lead with courage and humility, right? And you must balance the empowerment and accountability as well. When you empower them, and they need to hold themselves accountable, okay? Empowerment and accountability go hand in hand. Leaders empower team by giving them autonomy and the tools they need to succeed, but they must also ensure that each individual understands their responsibility and expectations before having the autonomy. So means each team member need to hold themselves accountable. By saying that, Sri, I heard a lot of times say that, okay, as a good leader, you need to hold your team accountable. That's a different thing. Yes, you hold your team accountable, but the much more effective and better way is to empower your team with accountability means they can hold them accountable. All right? Hold them accountable means they have the ownership. They own the problems. They own the solutions. They own the progress. They own the problem solving. Instead of, okay, I'm held accountable by my boss. I'm waiting for instructions. I'm waiting for giving steps to move forward. No, you're not waiting. You take initiative, right? Yes. So collaboration also important. Well, good leaders, they create environment that team members work together to achieve something, right, greater than any individual could alone. So when you encourage your people to collaborate, you create an environment where everyone contributes, share ideas. It's not a standalone. And also can innovate towards the collective success of the team and organization. So serving is leadership, and leaders must always be focused on serving their teams, guiding them with clarity and a purpose to accomplish shared goals. Those include empowering your team, making tough decisions, that even demonstrate authority when necessary, but all of the parts of how you serve them better in doing so and lead better.
So we have been talking a lot about this trifecta of leadership. Let's shift gears. And something that I really admire, I've become a big fan of what you write on LinkedIn. No wonder why you're the top voice on LinkedIn. Some of your catchy phrases that caught my attention, and I would want to draw your insights into this. One such phrase is, hardship doesn't define your journey, your perspective does.
Yeah, thanks for capturing it.
There is so much in that one sentence. Tell us a little more about that.
Thanks, Sri, for capturing this. Let's break it down, right? Basically, two parts. The first part is hardship. Don't define your journey. Of course, hardships are just external events or situations. They are often difficult, painful, or challenging. Those could include setbacks, failures, or loss, even daily struggles. However, And those events alone don't determine the outcome of your life or past. They're just events. They don't have the inherent power to shape your future unless you allow them to do, which means all about yourself, right? All about your inner power, all about who you are. So the impact of the hardship is not the event. It is not in the event itself, but in how you react to it. The second part of your perspective does. This highlights the idea that your mindset and attitude are the real defining factors in your journey. You know, how you choose to perceive and how you choose to respond to hardship plays a crucial role in whether you see them as obstacles or opportunities, right? So perspective is how you mentally and emotionally interpret the situations. Someone facing a hardship might see it as a setback, while another person might see it as an opportunity for learning, growth, or resilience. And this is very easy to choose, right? So it's basically our outlook that determines whether a hardship becomes a defining moment that stops us or an experience that strengthens and defines us. So why I published it, why this matters, because from this statement, we can see it encourages personal responsibility and empowerment. It says that you hold the key to how your life turns out. Your perspective on challenges influence whether you remain stuck or move forward. When facing difficult circumstances, you can choose how to frame those experiences and what lessons to draw from them. So your perspective is powerful. It can either limit or propel you forward. In my view, as that life is not about avoiding difficulties. It's about embracing the process of overcoming them with the right mindset.
Beautiful. You mentioned about perspectives can limit or propel you, and it all ultimately boils down to mindsets. And in the work that you have done, working very closely with the C-suite folks, with leaders across the globe, are there elements that you have noticed that has helped people to develop these mindsets? What are those one or two good practices that you have noticed that has helped people to develop good mindsets?
Yeah, so during this conversation, I emphasized so many times so much about the purpose and clarity, So at anything we do, any new actions we take, right, is all about a reason. Means that's a purpose. This is something we really, really want to do. So yes, when they face obstacles, setbacks, and those C-suites, especially CEOs, the very challenging the business landscape and economic situation, they realize that sometimes they're stuck there, but they reconnect with a purpose they want to drive forward. They want to achieve. They want to unleash. Right? They keep asking them what they are creating and what's the impact they are they are inventing, right? And so those really add energy to personal power and effectiveness when they are stuck somewhere, because they gain courage to move forward. They gain energy and to move forward. Sometimes it's not about lack of vision, lack of clarity. It's about when they are immersed in challenges, pressures, noises, and the purpose. The purpose is the kind of a left in a corner. So that's a moment they need a space facilitated by coaches like us to ask them critical questions they were not able to ask themselves, to make them reconnect with the purpose they had at the beginning. And the purpose is still strong. It just, they are kind of covered or buried by noises, uncertainty, challenges, difficulties, roadblocks. Once they have the space to listen to themselves quietly again, they have the chance to reconnect with their purpose, and then they gain the courage and the power to move forward again.
And let's move on to this other headline that you created, which was, let's create Culture 500 instead of Fortune 500.
Yes. That's a dream, Sri. Create a Culture 500 list, right? It's a dream, Fortune 500, of course. It was valid a few decades ago, but I think what's needed, in my opinion, I discuss with my CEO clients when I coach them and work with them. And And actually, this topic come from a conversation with one of the CEO clients, because we were discussing the critical importance of having a great culture in workplace. And then we reflect on the fact that all the CEOs are pushing for numbers, means drive the fortune, right? Drive the financial results. But I realized what supports any organization drive the results actually is the culture. Because when culture is good, and then team more motivated, more having stronger intrinsic motivation, And then we were joking, what if we create a culture 500? That would be an ideal word. So a culture 500 list would recognize the companies, right, that excel in culture, in culture values, most important to employees, in terms of trust, the collaboration, psychological safety, right? A great organizational culture doesn't just feel good because it drives the performance. A strong culture lays this a foundation for financial success. When you invest in your people, you're building trust, encourage collaboration, you foster psychological safety, and your employees become more engaged, more productive, and then more committed, right? So the commitment will fuel the performance, driving profit and sustained growth. If one day, if we really have the culture 500 list, but not every organization would be in the list, then what if those who might not be on the list, and then their time will come, Because the sustained culture excellence leads to exceptional employee performance. They will, right? Because they realize the importance of you having a great culture. They must, reflect and then put effort and develop a strategy on how to create a great culture, even better than before, right? So the culture is not just for employee, not just say that, okay, make my people feel good and having good culture, they feel trusted, they feel connected. Not just for them, it's great for business as well. It's the ultimate goal. So in order to make the company a culture 500 contender, right? If it's such a list was created, I would think start with one simple act, invest in people. That's it.
I don't think it is any figment of imagination to talk about Cultures 500. If you think about it, 50 years back, they didn't exist Fortune 500. Somebody thought about it, and now here we are sitting talking about Fortune 500. Maybe 50 years from now, somebody will be talking about Cultures 500, and they might just attribute it to you, Catherine.
Wow. Yes, that would be so fantastic. The dream would come true, right?
Absolutely. And the way I look at it is, while looking at financial numbers is important, it's an outside-in approach. The market tells you what needs to be done. This is what the competition is, and you kind of go behind it. But the culture journey is an inside-out approach. If you build a great culture as an organization, have the systems, processes, teams, the teams will propel you to kind of get to the market results. Then you achieve the financial goals that you want to do it. It's the same, but the perspective definitely alters the approach.
Absolutely. They are intertwined, intertwined, they work hand in hand. I absolutely agree with you, right?
Wonderful. We are having some lovely discussion with Catherine, the renowned CXO CEO coach. We slip into our segment of this conversation, the power of three round, where I will ask Catherine a couple of quick rapid fire questions. The first of the power of three round question, Catherine, coming to you, is what three daily practices successful leaders do?
That's an easy question to me, actually, compared to the previous questions. The reason is that, I frequently share those three daily practices for leaders to practice, to embody, right? The first one is find the time to do nothing, literally nothing.
Okay.
Because when you do nothing, you don't look at the phone, you don't check the text message or emails, don't listen to the podcast, you don't read the articles or whatever, learning and so on, right? This will allow your brain to be completely free from processing all the information it has absorbed and create the ideal space for reflection. And this again is a brain science. So when our brain is unoccupied, all the brain cells can achieve an optimal coherent state. Only during the optimal coherent states, our brain cells and work together closely to deliver the best results and the insight. Would it shock you, Sri?
Yeah, just doing nothing, the power of doing nothing.
Yes, the power of doing nothing. When I started advocating for this strategy, and not just any strategy, right? Most of the leaders were shocked to hear. They were like, Catherine, are you joking? Because most of us wear a badge of being busy, right? I feel like, okay, I'm successful. I'm effective when I'm busy. If you ask, hey, Sri, how have you been? Oh, been busy.
Busy.
So what did I do? Nothing. Right? Yes. So they feel challenged, especially CEOs. Oh, I have so much to achieve. So many things to do, right? So you're responsible. I need to do things. If you encourage them to find time to do nothing, literally nothing, they face challenges. But then we have to come to the brain science. It's actually the same science, the same theory based on meditation. When you do meditation, you basically do literally nothing. You don't read anything, you don't listen, you basically focus on one thing and free your brain, and the brain cell can connect each other, achieve the optimal coherent state. When we are busy with something, all our brain cells busy with processing things alone, separately. Can you imagine the result and the insights compared to all to come together, deliver results and insight? So this is the first point, find time to do nothing. Second is get sufficient sleep, please. Sleep is not luxury at all. It's simply part of the nature. It's nature things, right? We shouldn't do things against the nature. That's my philosophy. Sleeping is just a part of the nature. It's so essential for maintaining mental clarity, emotional balance, as well as a physical energy. So three perspectives, mental perspective, emotional perspective, and physical perspective, all right? Mental clarity, emotional balance, and physical energy, sleeping. So leaders who prioritize sleep will really make sharp decisions and communicate more effectively and sustain peak performance. This is no doubt. And third one is practice gratitude, the intentional gratitude. Take a few moments each day to reflect on what you are grateful for in life. This is a very simple habit, but it helps shift your focus from challenges to opportunities. Improve emotional resilience and foster positive mindset. And by the way, it inspires those around you as well.
And if these are traits that you have observed in successful leaders, and it costs nothing, it is not too much of effort, doing nothing, sleeping well, and expressing gratitude. How simple it is to succeed, and so few follow it so religiously. Thanks for sharing that, Catherine. Continuing on, what would be three book or podcast recommendations?
Yes, I do read a book, I read from time to time. And I started with the first one because I read again and again and again. Okay. I started last year, and then my daughter says that, Mommy, why you haven't finished this book yet? I say, I read maybe the 6 times already. All right.
Is this book?
Yeah, the first one is from Adam Grant. Think Again. Think. I read it. I started last year, and now I'm still reading. So there's a few reasons I recommend it. Right. The first, it emphasizes the cognitive flexibility. Think Again. Encourage readers, especially leaders, right, to question their assumptions and remain open to rethinking their perspectives. So if I can summarize the reason why I recommended this book, it challenges leaders to think beyond their established beliefs and challenge their entrenched views, right? Encourage the kind of open-mindedness and adaptability, right? A second book is called A Masterpiece. I recommend it to everyone, every leader. It's from Simon Sinek, The Infinite Game. The reason I recommend this book even more compelling, one of the central themes of the Infinite Game is a distinction between finite games and infinite games. The finite games is with fixed rules, right? That fixed rules, a clear winner, and a defined end point. But the infinite games, which are ongoing, evolving, and focus on progress. So leaders who are leading organizations for example, CEOs, general manager, managing director, right? When they adopt infinite mindset, they prioritize long-term success over short-term wins. That's very obvious. And this shift help them create lasting, sustainable growth, rather than chasing fleeting victories that might not contribute to the organization enduring purpose, right? So Simon Sinek also emphasized the importance of having a just cause, a compelling and a clear vision that guides organization's mission and purpose. So if I can summarize, so this book offers a powerful perspective that CEOs should think beyond immediate results and focus on purpose-driven approach. We keep seeing that, but this is the real emphasis on that, and the importance of doing this, right? So this is about it. The reasons I recommend these two books. In Think Again and The Infinite Game.
Right. I think you have definitely given more than just a book recommendation. You kind of given a book review of sorts. Thanks for sharing that. So, Catherine, this has been some conversation. We started off with authentic leadership and all the way to infinite games. Couldn't have asked for a better conversation around leadership mantras than what you shared. Drawing your close experiences of working with the C-suite, with the leaders across the globe. This show is all about creating ripples of inspiration. Before we sign off, what is Catherine's Inspire Someone Today message to all the listeners out there?
Right. That's some message, right? They keep echoing in my head, staying in my heart over and over again a long time, which is focus on impact rather than chasing status. Because status is fleeting. When you're on the position, yes, you feel that you are respected, you have the respect, and you are treated well by everybody around you. But then once you are leaving the position, you're no more holding the title, and you're basically nobody, right? But the impact is enduring. So true leadership isn't about titles or accolades. It's about the lives you touch, the impact you create, the lives you touch, and it's about the growth you inspire and all the positive remark you leave on the world. So shift your focus from chasing recognitions to creating meaningful changes and impact, and then build a legacy that lasts.
That's a powerful statement to leave with. Chasing statuses is a foregone thing. Focus on impact. If we want to kind of leave the world, leave your legacy, focus on impact. Hey listeners, did you know Inspire Someone Today has a brand new avatar? Yes, you got it right. Inspire Someone Today, the book, is now available on Amazon. I would love for you to pick up the book, read it, share your reviews, share your feedback. Happy listening and happy reading. Until next time, keep inspiring.